10 a.m., so we can go ahead and get started. Meeting to order, Tuesday, May 10th, 2022. Meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Denison. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Recognize we do have a quorum present. And so we will move on now to public comment section if there's anybody wanting to speak on anything that's part of the consent agenda or so forth. We don't have any.
We did not receive any cards.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and close that portion and move to the consent agenda. And do we have any discussion or comments on the items in the consent agenda? Nope. Then I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None. The consent agenda is approved. All right, now we'll move to item 4, items for individual consideration. Item 4A.
Thank you. Receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on a preliminary plat for the Katy Trails Village right-of-way, case number 2022-023. This is the Katy Trails Village. I just have an aerial and no zoning map because our zoning map has not been updated to reflect that this is was rezoned to a planned development to accommodate some townhomes, multifamily, and some retail tracts along Woodlawn. This preliminary plat is to show dedication of the Katy Trails Drive and Village Drive right-of-ways. There will be no residential lots that come from this preliminary plat. The applicant in their project narrative, this is in your agenda packet, but just so we all have an understanding, the proposed right-of-way dedications will be within the proposed Katy Trails Village development and will provide street and utility infrastructure with the proposed, or within the proposed right-of-way to enhance the value of the currently underdeveloped property. So just to reiterate, no lots, no residential lots are coming from this preliminary plat. It's basically just so they can move forward with infrastructure. Staff does recommend approval of this preliminary plat, and I'm here for any questions that you may have, and so are the applicants.
Any questions of staff?
I've got one question, and that is, it has to do with the natural habitat that will be included in that, in all this structure that we're doing. I'm assuming that there'll be a nice amount of tree retention along the Katy Trail.
Yes, I believe so.
There'll be a lot of preservation of the trees near on the west side of the development. There's where there's a floodplain there with lots of trees and things like that. So those will definitely be retained.
There's also a proposed trailhead in the development for the Katy Trail. Now, this preliminary plat does not show any of the actual development itself, but if you remember towards the end of last year when we ran the plan development, their concept plan allowed for access to the Katy Trail.
That's important. I don't remember which end it was or where it was, but as long as it's there, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the proposed preliminary plat for the Katy Trails Village right-of-way.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? A second by Mr. Redwine. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is approved. All right, now we'll move to the public hearings section. And again, anyone wishing to speak on any of these items, when you do approach, if you'll state your name and address for the record, please. We'll start with item 5A.
Item 5A, receive a report, hold a discussion, conduct a public hearing, and take action on a replat of the Century Ridge Addition Phase 1, lots 1 through 6, Block A, located at the corner of Washington Street and Lamar Avenue, case number 2022-028RP. The applicant is proposing or requesting an approval of a replat that creates 6 lots. This is an aerial of that location. You have Austin Avenue to the west, and then single family to the east. Here's a zoning aerial. And this is what the plat is, the replat looks like. So it's a larger tract that they're carving 6 lots out of. There is a companion item for a request to rezone from the commercial zoning district to a single-family 5 zoning district. And all of these lots do conform to the development standards within that zoning district. Their purpose for the replat is to construct single-family residences. Staff recommends approval of the requested replat and present for any questions, and so is the applicant.
Any questions of staff?
Not on this part.
The applicant like to add anything? All right. Is there anyone else here to speak on this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing portion of this item. And any further discussion among the commission?
This is just a going forward discussion. There are, on some of these where we are going into the SF5s, sometimes recently we've had buildings where they want to put too many houses in a small piece of land. And I don't know if there's anything we can do to prevent that so that they're not spending a lot of money ahead of time and then finding out that they can't do it. So just, this is one of those possibilities with this land, that when they go to planning it, we don't want it to end up in the zoning adjustments where, you know, the plan is for a smaller home, it needs to be a smaller home, and so we don't get into those situations.
Sure. And we've had a couple of meetings with the applicant, as well as when Bill was here, this case came before him a while during that time. So we've had substantial amount of conversations about the
Good.
property, so.
That's good, thank you.
But all these lots meet minimum requirements.
Yes, sir,
for-
yes. So whenever the contractor comes in to build the houses, they'll need to make sure that they meet their setback requirements.
Any further questions or discussion? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to recommend approval of changing the zoning of the subject property. Oops, sorry.
5A.
That's better. Okay. I move to approve the proposed replat.
There we go. All right, have
Yeah, second.
a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion is approved.
Now I'm ready to.
Now we're going to item 5B, talk about zoning.
Item 5B, receive a report, hold a discussion, conduct a public hearing, and make a recommendation on a request to rezone approximately .73 acres for property located on the corner of Washington Street and North Lamar Avenue from the commercial zoning district to SF5 single-family residential zoning district, case number 2022-029Z. So this is a companion item to the replat that was just approved. Applicant is wishing to extend the single-family 5 zoning district that you see here just to the east to allow for construction of 6 single-family residences. And staff recommends approval of this rezone request.
What's the building there that's just to the west of it? I'm trying to get my bearings.
So this one right here,
Yeah, the white roof.
I don't know if it's in operation at the moment, but I think that they are attempting to have some sort of like meat market restaurant there.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know what it was previously, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's right.
A long time ago, it was a doctor's office.
Yeah, because that's
Okay.
going to.
2 or 3 in there, but you're right about the meat market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay, no, that makes, no, we're talking about. All right. Any other questions of staff?
No, I already asked them.
All right. Anything, applicant want to add anything to that? All right.
I think Mary's ready.
Anybody else to speak on behalf, on this request? All right, we'll close the public hearing portion. And I'll entertain a motion.
I move to recommend approval of the changing of the zone of the subject property from commercial zoning district to SF5 single-family residential zoning district.
I second.
I have a motion in a couple seconds. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It is approved.
I do have one staff update. So starting next week, I will, turning off the lights, trying to set the mood for all of you. I don't know how to fix it, Chris. It's fine. Okay, all right, cool. I'll have my arm down here. So starting next week, I will be, previous to coming up into the planning office, I was over our utility billing office. I will be going back down to run that office starting on Monday. For the time being, I will be doing both. So you'll still see me for a little bit. I will be
Wow.
doing all of our billing and running that office, and then also doing the planning. So
No rest for you.
I don't know how long that'll be, but I'll keep y'all updated as we kind of go forward with that. So, but I just wanted y'all to be aware.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Dropping like flies in the planning department.
We're not dropping like flies, Brett.
Uh,
We are. Don't
It's getting a little
repeat
thin
that, Chris.
in places though.
We do have a director that we're reaching out to make an offer to, so we'll
Yay.
hopefully be able to update you on that once we
Thank
make
you,
an offer
Chris.
and whether or not they accept it, so.
Thank you.
Give you a little more.
Yeah.
That's sweet relief.
All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, then, take a motion to adjourn.
We adjourn. I got it out first.
Okay, then we'll take yours as a second. Spence. All right, I have a motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Don't think
There
so.
we go. No one opposed.
Good job.
It's better than.
Enjoy the next 2 or 3 hours before it gets up to 90.
You know, I tried to walk at 9:30 yesterday. It was already over 8.
It's like, yeah, it feels like,
By the time I got home, I was. That's just not fair.
Hey, Brett, sometime prior to 2 weeks from right now, let's meet up.
yeah.